Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck Blue. That is all. Para will be taking a hold of the fucking... Yeah, welcome to the fucking Conclave, as structured and on time as always. Para will be taking control of this and leading the way, because Soul is completely useless and hasn't made a list or rewatched the episode, so I'm sort of, what's happened? Other than Euron Greyjoy is awesome, I don't remember the finer points.
That's at the end. That's at the end. Okay, so it starts off with Varys getting chewed out by Dany, which I think was just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was nice to see him sort of slowly degrade from confidence and then just go back to his sort of like, yeah, okay, bitch, sure, this is...
That was an interaction I was looking forward to for quite a while, considering like he tried to poison her and shit in earlier seasons.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see how they'd handle it.
There's a lot of interactions like the first half of this episode like that I was really enjoying up until one certain scene.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I like Emilia Clarke as an actor when she's actually got a good actor to interact with.
She was so sassy.
When she got good lines and good writing and shit, but
I don't really think it's too much about the lines. It's more about like Tyrion's good because Tyrion's always had like Charles Dance to work with, or the guy that played Oberyn. Or,
yeah, you need like a good actor to bounce off of, don't you?
Exactly, yeah, to bring out that sort of character. And with Varys, that's the best I've seen of Varys, apart from maybe with Baelish.
I was gonna say, I feel like they emphasised how he's a man of the people or whatever in this. I feel like that's just to completely show him as the opposition to Baelish, who's completely out for himself. So Varys is just out for all the people, the public, and everything.
Saying that, I read a theory about how the last scene of Game of Thrones is going to be, and it's going to be in a battlefield of just all these corpses, no one left alive apart from Varys and Littlefinger fighting each other in the mud.
just mud wrestling. Just the Hodor White shows up and smacks him over the head with the
like
ball.
when I read it, I just imagined like Cartman fighting the dwarf in one of those episodes.
I'm not gonna lie. One thing did make me sad about this whole thing, which was like even after watching the episode before, I was still like holding out like very little hope. Like maybe Griff could happen or something somehow. Like holy shit thing like introduced at the last moment. This is like nope. Just making sure you know Varys is not planning anything else. This is his last move.
Yeah, it would be nice to have young Griff because that would be an extra 2 seasons added easily just because of the amount of content. That probably would mean Dawn would be a proper storyline as well.
I think we knew that wasn't happening the moment Jorah got grayscale.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was like one of the hints. But like this is like in my opinion, it was like the final nail in the coffin. Like that. This is Varys' entire plan.
Well, I do like the fact that Varys literally just put her in the place and went, no, bitch, if you ain't going to do this properly, I will fucking do something about it. If you don't like that, you can get Grey Worm to behead me. I just love this fucking full-out confidence, like, come on, bitch, try it.
Bottom line,
and like this, and when Dany responded, like, just went, all right, don't do this again. You tell me to my face, you don't scheme and all that. The kind of sigh of relief from Tyrion, just like, oh, thank fucking Christ.
I think Varys is like probably the first person to properly talk at Dany like that, though. Like, not be, like, so respectful. Just tell her, like, straight to her face, you know what, if you fuck up, I'm going to fuck you over.
Yeah, I was going to say Tyrion, but he didn't. He kind of did at the start, saying when he first met her, saying I haven't decided if you earn my cancel.
He was never, you know.
But yeah, actually challenging her was nice to see. But then she kind of turned it just at the end by saying, if you fuck me over me, I'll burn you alive. That was just, I just instantly Mad Queen screaming in my head.
I don't think that went any way to convince any good points with Varys, because that would have immediately been what, like your father would have, you know.
But yeah, on from that, straight after you got Melisandre turning up to Dragonstone, and then Dany summoning Jon to Dragonstone. Not only that, but to bend the knee.
Yeah. Tyrion's slight expression at that was like, okay, that's gonna go well.
I'm not gonna lie, when I heard Melisandre mention Jon Snow, just the idea of that meeting, I just get chills. Like, I mean, I knew it was gonna happen eventually, and
that is the scene I'm looking for, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's happening in the next episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is. From the preview, you can see.
Yeah.
But how do you think that's gonna go out?
I think that they're gonna get married.
I didn't like the fact that after Tyrion mentioned how like good he was and all the rest of it, she already seemed like she was into him. Like at the first mention of him,
Oh,
like
that's
it
where-
already
that's
showed
where we're going.
indications.
That's where the show's
Yeah.
going, dude. They're gonna.
But like
bang.
it already showed indications of that. It's like at least let them meet first before she's like totally smitten with him. I mean, come on.
I think it's going to turn against her. I think when she says, I want you to bend the knee, John's just going to go, no.
I
North.
disagree with that.
I
think
the North
think
chose
he's
him as a
totally
king.
willing
I think he's going to respect the fact that he's been named king by the people of the North.
But I think if he's given the opportunity of her assistance in the war, then
needs the dragons.
he's totally willing to bend the knee. I don't think he's one of the guys like in the same sense like Mance Rayder was completely willing to give up his crown in order to save his people. Like in order to save everybody, John's going to put his own honor out the window and everything. He doesn't want the crown. He said in the episode himself he didn't want the crown.
But
I think that he will bend. Like, I think he'll agree that like I will bend after they are dealt with, type of thing.
If you come
Like-
help me, if you defeat the others, if you know, then I'll
Yeah, I
bend.
think that's what I think is going to happen. I can't, because if he says, okay, I'll bend, that's when Danny's going to go, right, you need to march all your armies south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
That's just
never
not going to
gonna
happen.
Yeah.
He'll rather have dragons come in and burn the fucking North rather than try and march his army south.
Like in the description for the next episode, in the title wherever it says that he faces a rebellion, which I think will be related to him like working with Dany. Like, because we already saw the Northern Lords don't like the idea of him working with a
I don't
Targaryen.
like Targaryens, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where that rebellion's going to come from. I'm not even sure
Yeah,
it's going to be a full rebellion, but
We'll go into that as in more.
yeah, I just thought, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then we have Cersei talking to
Totally.
the Lords of the Reach, and then
Mad King propaganda.
on top of that, I've got it in two separate notes, but basically together. And then Jamie, being the voice of reason with Randall Tarly, and then offering him Lord Paramount of the South, which I think everyone kind of expected.
No.
Warden of the South.
Warden of the South, yeah, but it's Lord Paramount. It's just the
Yeah.
way-
Lord Paramount
yeah,
of the
everyone-
Reach, Warden of the South, yeah.
Same thing, really.
People think he's going to go with the crown or go with Dany.
He's going with the crown.
He's going with the crown, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think he would have with just talking to Cersei, but with Jamie talking to him, I think that kind
With
of persuaded him.
Jamie is the voice of reason, as the, co-lead the armies with me. Jamie being there, the voice of reason, the guiding hand sort of thing. If it was just Cersei, then, I don't think he would have. So,
You can kind of tell as well with just he doesn't like he's not someone that's going to like a woman in power anyway.
Yeah.
And then Jamie
Probably
even
got
says
more confidence, like seeing Jamie is taking a leading role as well. Like in that
Yeah.
sense, like Jamie is also behind this leadership.
well, that's the thing that convinced him. The fact that Jamie's there. Jamie's,
Well, Jamie's
right
leading
hand.
the armies and all the rest of it as well.
Yeah, leading the armies in charge. No doubt he thinks Jamie's calling the shots. If it was
And-
just Cersei, there's no way Tarly was going to,
and to in my mind thinking how someone from Westeros, especially with a reputation like Randall Darley has, the idea of being you're going to be the Grand General of the armies,
Yeah.
and you're going to be the one that repels this invasion. In that kind of mindset, you're thinking, well, that's going to make me legendary. I will be
Yeah,
remembered
gets
after my death.
recognition for it.
Yeah.
Like, They'll
Speaking
build
of,
statues of me, and
speaking of Randall Tarley's legacy and all that crap, why in the bloody hell is he not gone to get Heartsbane back?
I feel like they just completely glossed over that.
Yeah, the
At
Valerian
some
steel
random
sword.
episode, Sam will just pull it out and be like, "Oh yeah, I have a Valerian
hang on.
sword now as well."
Yeah, Tarley's.
but at the same time, he's been he just says that if my queen summons me, I respond, especially as I know how she deals with her enemies. You've got two things. You go, right, well, I'm going to get burnt alive by wildfire, or I'm going to get my sword back.
But you can send men to get the sword.
But it's the Citadel. It's not like that he would have to send an army to go into into the Citadel.
20 Tarley bannermen down to go to the high towers and go, hey, my son's here. He stole my sword. Can I please have it back?
Do you reckon Maesters get to have weapons?
I don't imagine Maesters get to
Where
keep
the
any
fuck is-
lively possessions.
Yeah, where has Sam put this? Oh, I suppose he might have left it with Gilly, I suspect.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
But at the
it's
same
even
time,
more undefended.
it would be very risky to go to a different house in this exact
Yeah,
time,
I
especially when it's been
I
summoned.
don't suppose Randall Tarley would want anybody knowing that it's happened, either.
Yeah, especially, yeah, exactly. Like, it's
The,
not
the
not
shame
like,
of my fat son, who I told to bugger off and sent to the wall, has nicked our family sword and ran off.
Have they changed the actor for Dickon?
Yeah, they
yes, they
I
did.
thought so. I just thought that, because when he like asked him if he was his son, I was like, that's not his son. He looks completely different.
I still like that about Jamie, where he doesn't know who the fuck you are unless you're some like great lord or some legend.
What's your name? Rickon?
Rickon, was it?
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
yes.
It's like, yeah, okay, don't care, not going to remember.
Yeah, it's not important. It's from Jamie's point of view, it's not fucking important. Tarley's, Randall Tarley's the one.
He has
that...
bigger things to deal with than Randall Tarley's son's name.
Anyway,
So,
next
well,
one.
with that, I think that goes on to what I said last episode, that with Randall and Jamie leading a host, I don't think that the battle with the Targaryens is going to go so on Targaryen side.
Yeah. There's no way they'll be stupid about it.
Yeah, whereas Dany doesn't really have any great generals really with her.
No, since Selmy's dead because D&D.
Yeah, if she had Selmy, it might be a bit different, but
yeah,
there is no great general. And you got, with Randall and Jamie, they're going to be smart. Right, the next one, I'll just put it all into one, even though it's split up, was Jorah getting
flayed,
cut open.
Fucking yeah.
It's fucking icky.
One of the best. The last two episodes, they've done very well with changing from one scene to the other, making you think, "Oh, that's fucking disgusting." That pie, oh, fuck me.
Cut straight from the pus of the grayscale straight to the pie. It was.
You gotta love how Sam's two scenes so far have both been absolutely revolting. It's from shit to like grayscale pus.
Shit to flaying fucking grayscale of somebody. Yeah.
I'm a bit disappointed if that's the whole healing cure is just you got to rip it off.
Well, no, he said like you have to put some paste. I don't reckon it's that because like I thought I saw in like one of
grounded up dragon glass or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's something to do with dragon glass. So I reckon like this might help him or something, but I reckon he'll actually be cured or whatever when he gets dragon glass.
Dragonstone.
Yeah.
And meet his queen.
Oh, yeah, were you here last episode?
Blue wasn't.
I was.
Blue was.
Loom wasn't.
No, Loom wasn't.
was.
Yes, Loom wasn't.
No.
Did you watch the last episode? What we talked about?
That would be funny if I hadn't, wouldn't it? Yeah. No, I didn't. I'm afraid. Sorry.
We had a discussion about this.
Yeah, we had it about the dragon glass and it being a healing factor. So yeah, Jorah's pretty simple. Like, it's not really much to really talk about. I guess. I think Sam might be expelled for doing that.
Yeah,
Or
and
it's either one way.
in the books and all the rest of it.
He either gets expelled or he's like praised for it and gets his chain.
Yeah. Well, the Archmaester in question is a bit sort of on the edge of the rules, isn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't follow the rules strictly.
No, he believes in magic and all the rest of it.
Especially with him going on about science as well. Like, if you're doing something like that to try and cure something like that, you've got to like if you look at penicillin or like, the guy that did it just tested it on himself all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's breaking the rules to try and figure out how to cure something.
Yeah, I don't think it would get expelled. I think he'd if the Archmaester will take a hell of a lot more interest in him, sort of pull him into the inner circle a bit more. He might
And then
a bit
and then
more
teach
along the
him
lines
dark
of
ways
this
of
he
magic.
has promise kind of thing, rather than let's get rid of him.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, so the next scene is Qyburn and his ballista.
Yeah.
I hated everything about the scene. I didn't actually. That's a lie. I hated her breaking the skull.
Yeah. Was
I
anybody
hate
else really pissed off about them?
Yeah,
damaging
you
the
broke a
Valerian
fucking
skull?
fucking skull.
of all time.
Yeah, it's Valerian the Dread. You're fucking with the Valerian the Dread's skull. Leave it alone.
I'd like to also point out that skull is like 300 years old. So is it really a surprise that it broke when you shot it with something?
True. It's still dragon bone, though.
Yeah,
really
but like
cool.
it obviously isn't going to be as strong as scales, flesh, dragon,
it's
living
not
dragon
gonna have
blood.
the muscle on the actual dragon scale as well, which is something. But
Yeah, but
still,
like,
I like how their genius invention is. Let's basically make a ballista. That's a ballista.
but like to be fair, like
The Dornish had those when they killed Meraxes. What the
yeah,
fuck?
Well,
is
that's
there?
they're doing it. It's in the books as well. That's what I kind of like.
Yeah.
It's what they. If it works, that's another thing. But
Well, you
I
have
think
to aim it. It'd have to be coming at the right fucking angle and
I
everything.
think the way they'll do it, it'll be some kind of like trap where like the dragon comes down or whatever, and like Dany's like threatening Cersei or something, and then it comes out from behind.
Well,
Like when
it'd have to come down in a straight fucking line to have that shot.
Yeah, but
to get to it.
I don't. They're not going to shoot the dragon when it's flying. If you know what I mean, it's going to be like
Which
a
dragon dies? Viserion, right?
One of them dies. One of them becomes an ice dragon, and then Drogon's the last one. So I don't know. Either of them, they're the same, aren't they?
But I think what you
Ron
said
has
about
to
working
rock
around the
big
clock and
ball.
stuff, I think they're going to have them on every point of the wall in King's Landing.
But you reckon they have
Every-
loads of them?
Yeah, it's going to be like the wildfire where like Cersei is someone that's just one isn't going to be good enough. She needs to have huge amounts, like everything everywhere. Especially for 3 dragons. Like what if King's Landing was attacked by 3 dragons and you got a giant ballista there? It's going to take about 20 seconds to reload with a load of guys pulling it, and then you got to aim accurately with these things flying around while burning stuff. You're not going to rely on one.
Yeah.
It's just retarded.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like trying to block off an air, like say if Russia went and attacked England with a load of planes. You're not going to have one anti-air missile.
Yeah, from what the books have always said, I mean, they've had ballistas before. They've shot dragons with these kinds of things before.
Yeah, it's how Rhaenys' dragon was killed.
Yeah, it's how Meraxes were killed. Shot with a... it was described as along the lines of a bunch of lucky shots. One of them got really, really lucky and fucked Meraxes up in the eye. And it
Yeah,
only
it hit
killed
him
him
in the
because
eye,
it hit him
went
in
through
the eye
to his
and went
brain,
through his
yeah.
brain. Yeah. It didn't hit him like on the hide or anything like that, which leads me to believe that it bounces off the fucking hide. Or
I was going to say,
it
I can
doesn't,
see,
you know.
I can see 2 things either happening. Either they're going to shoot it and it'll just kill the dragon, or it'll be like a big thing. You expect the dragon to die, it'll shoot and it'll just bounce off. And like it'll do something like it bounces off Drogon, but like can kill one of the other 2. So
See,
Drogon bigger.
I
and
don't know
all the rest of
about bouncing off because they've got speared in the pits.
it. He was younger though.
Yeah,
a
he
lot
was younger,
smaller
but
as well.
I don't think it might bounce off. It might just sort of hit him, hurt, but it won't, you know.
Or
kill
just
him.
like take him out of action for a while.
It's like
Well, it
getting
might
stabbed.
just stick into his side a little, in which
No,
case the
but,
dragon
yeah, but I
probably
mean,
just
like in
goes
terms of
rip
in the
out.
conflict and stuff, take him out of action so you don't have to. So it's like it balances it a bit more because Dany's OP.
Unless you hit the dragon in the eye and it goes through your freaking brain, I don't see it dying.
So I kind of like the idea. I can imagine them doing this sort of like panning to, you know, the ballista shooting at, and you following the bolt hitting the dragon,
Yeah.
and then the dragon just turning around and just going "fuck you" and
Yeah.
breathing fire on it. Because just to give that sort of anticipation that people are going to think the dragon's going to die,
Yeah.
and it just turned around not to work. Like I can imagine that's the sort of thing they're going to go for.
Yeah.
I'd be
That's
shocked
sick,
if they
yeah.
kill a dragon that way.
Unless you get really fucking lucky and it smacks it in the eye and gets the brain like it did with Meraxes, you ain't killing the fucking dragon like that, no.
Also, Daenerys was talking about how she doesn't want to send dragons at King's Landing.
Well, yeah, that's
That's-
all you.
But that's not because she's worried about them getting killed. She's worried about
No,
burning
worried about
King's Landing
killing
to the ground.
Yeah.
That was also when she still had all the Ironborn and everything. But
Yeah, that's going on to the next bit. Dany's invasion plans. I think that's Tyrion full out being smart. Just
Yeah.
Westeros the army lay siege and not take the city. Just hold it and starve them out. It's tactically smart, especially with the Unsullied then going around and taking Castle Rock. That would instantly.
Dothraki in the Reach and everything, where they're supposed to use...
Well, they haven't announced that the Dothraki are attacking anywhere yet. The Dothraki are
Yeah,
staying
they just
behind.
said they were holding them back here.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to wait till later to discuss this, but like, were the Unsullied on those Greyjoy ships?
No,
No.
that's the Dornish.
The Unsullied have the slavers ships,
Yeah.
which is a rather large fleet. But I don't know how they bypassed the Greyjoys and Dawn cut in. But essentially that just means Dawn's armies are now out of the question. Dawn are
I
gone.
think
Had-
they've swept Dawn under the rug, kind of thing.
The slaver ships managed to pass in the same way that Euron's fleet managed to get to King's Landing without going past Dragonstone. Just through magic.
No, we discussed that in the last episode. I think we agreed that Euron arrived in Blackwater Bay before Dany arrived
Right.
across the Narrow Sea. That's the only way that
and then I
makes
suppose he came out whilst the Greyjoy fleet's leaving.
the only way that makes sense is he sailed in before Dany arrived, and then when he sailed out, Dany was there.
Yeah, and he met the Greyjoys
Yeah, and met them when they were going towards it. Yeah.
later.
But so with the Reach, I think she's just going to go, well, I've just lost. I think next episode what will happen is Jamie and Randall will then go take High Gun, so that removes the Westerosi armies from Dany.
Yeah.
That's Dawn and the reach out of hand, and that's where Danny's going to take on Olenna Tyrell's advice and go, right, fuck it. Time to bring out the nuclear weapons, Dothraki, dragons, we're going into the Reach. And that's when I think that battle between Jamie, Randall and Danny's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that'll be, which is still, then once you've taken it, well, you got the armies, you got the land, and if they want, they can bring in the Dornish army through the Reach.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
You've also got the Lannister army beating the shit out of it. If you can pull off a field of fire in the Reach, just like Aegon the Conqueror did, you've essentially neutered the enemy, basically.
Yeah, well, if Randall Tully is going to be taking over Highgarden with Jamie, and they're going to take it, I imagine, quite easily.
Yeah.
It's going to be basically the Field of Fire 2.0. It's going to be Lannisters and the Reach with both their armies. It's a callback to book readers and all that kind of stuff, as well as George R. R. Martin likes to do that, history repeating itself. And
Yeah.
anything else on that?
No, there's the scene which I think was after the Samuel one, which we missed, which was my favourite scene of the episode, was Arya and Hot Pie.
I've got that in a second. I'll put Arya together with both scenes.
Oh, right. Oh, I've completely forgot that the wolf scene was even in it.
Yeah.
So before we get to that one, we have to go through the fucking bullshit one. Grey Worm licks carpet for a full 5 fucking minutes.
Oh, I didn't even put that on. It was just an episode. It was just like a bit of Pornhub, just randomly thrown in there.
Yeah, like that was...
Yep.
So,
I thought
Here's some
the
boobs.
first half of it was great. The whole dialogue between them was brilliant. I loved it. Then they had to go and put in a sex scene because, it's Game of Thrones. It has to be sexy. No, you didn't need it. Cut it out. There is
nothing sexy about.
You could just have it where they stripped
there.
off, kissed, and then blackout. We don't need to know what's happening after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the total scene altogether was 5 minutes, and I was just thinking, I was thinking to myself, I kind of literally just switched off and I just started rolling a cigarette while I was watching it, just whatever.
You just have this thing, you just this takes 5 minutes, but they couldn't do the Dornish master plan.
All I was thinking was, that scene could have lasted 2 minutes. It could be a goodbye, them switching it, fading out, and that's an extra 3 minutes on the next thing with Arya, with what happens to her.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot more interesting. It's no longer season 1, season 2. They don't need to throw sex in our faces to make it interesting for the general audience. It's about what's happening, and especially with 2 minor characters.
Yeah, I was going to say, other than John and Danny getting it on, we need a scene for that.
2 minor characters, one of whom has no equipment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They take the unsullied root and stem, so there's nothing down there.
Yeah, so it's just kind of, you're awkwardly thinking that at the back of your mind during the scene. You're like, but there's nothing. Does it tingle?
I'm reminded of that scene from South Park with unless they sort of scissor or something.
But it just wasn't needed. It was as well as just the way that they did it. It felt like I was watching a porno. It was a bit over
it
the
felt
top.
very his boobs, fucking a bit unnecessary. But there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on that bullshit scene?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
It makes it even because I sit and watch Game of Thrones in a group of 5 or 6 people every week who've been doing this for seasons, and this is just by far the most uncomfortable that has ever been in the room at once. Just
Got one friend sitting in the corner jerking off.
Oh no, he is that one friend.
No, that was really,
It is my house, so I can do what I want. That's
why it was uncomfortable. They were all just sitting there looking to their right, like, "What the hell are you doing, Derek?" He's like, "It's my house. I'll do what I want."
Maybe when the John and Danny scene comes, that one might be worth it.
Everyone just leaves the living room. We'll be back in 5.
Nah,
the episode where everyone knows it's going to happen, they're going to come into the room. I imagine you watch it in the lounge, and they're going to see you sitting there with just a tub of lube next to you.
Derek's just going to go, "What?" Oh, you want to move next point? If that's we have any.
Right. So then we've got. Start with the first bit, which was skimmed over before. It's the Hot Pie and Arya thing, which was fantastic.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I love any form of callback.
Good job. It was great. I loved all of it.
He called her pretty as well. Oh,
Yeah,
poor thing.
and just her reaction when like she thinks he's lying,
Yeah.
and it's so cute, and it's like, oh damn, and like it's like her, in my opinion, it's like her change. Like suddenly she realizes like she has something. She's not
It's
on
the
her
bit where
own.
she said, "Why would I lie? It's your brother, isn't it?" Or something like that.
Yeah, it's like she has something else in life other than killing people.
Immediately it was John, and then Needle, and then fuck.
Yeah, it was just like, it's like you kind of saw it last episode where she's talking with
Ed
that
Sheeran.
singer, Ginge Twat.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran, where she kind of smiled, and it's just, oh fuck, I haven't seen Arya smile in like 5 seasons, like, but like that sort of, okay, people are still alive, the Starks have control of the North, like, and then when she comes out and you hear the guy saying, well, let's go to King's Landing, and they're going off south, and then she turns her horse and heads north, I didn't, just like, fuck yes, because I did not want to see Arya go south. I did not want to see a King's Landing.
Oh no,
army.
because nothing was going to happen. You knew she's not going to be the one to kill Cersei.
No, the only thing that happened is you go south is you end up captured or something.
Yeah, so this is actually a progression of the storyline, and we're still working towards the Stark reunion.
Yeah. Although she's going to end up at Winterfell, go, where's John? And he's going, oh, he's at Dragonstone. Oh,
Well, no,
But
there'll be a
also-
reunion of the actual Starks, because Bran's going there, Sansa's already there, Arya's now going
yeah,
there.
okay. Not a reunion of the Starks and the Targaryen. My
No.
apologies.
And it also kind of puts more into my theory of how Baelish is going to die.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck yes. Oh, I want her to do it. Fuck Sansa. Oh yeah, I had a friend who was listening to the podcast in the car, and they're doing a long drive, and his girlfriend was listening to us rant about Sansa, and she was apparently getting really fucking angry.
What, the fact that she's literally probably the worst character currently
Yeah,
in the
essentially,
show?
Yeah, essentially.
She's getting really pissed
But
off. Like,
Sophie
saying, I hope
Turner-
she dies. And
But Sophie Turner is very, very attractive.
Yes, but she cannot act emotion, in my opinion. She has
I
a
can't-
very blunt face.
I don't want to blame the actress. I primarily blame the damn
Or at least
writers
the
and-
way she's written is just
Yeah,
blunt.
the way
There's
she's
no
written, the position she's put into everything is just like
Yeah.
didn't do it any
So
favors.
sure, some of her actions may have blunted her emotions, some of what's happened to her.
Yeah, true.
But-
I don't know.
It's iffy.
oh, man, the fuck up.
Yeah.
But Sophie Turner, if you're listening to
Nymeria?
this,
Yeah, that's the
yep.
next bit. Nymeria.
Total fan service. Completely fan service.
Oh yeah,
But at the same time, I think it was kind of essential to do.
yeah, awesome.
What was it
It's
she
the
said
last
at the
time
end?
we're going to see her.
It's not you. Or something like that.
What?
Right, yeah, I've read a lot about this, and I think people are getting it very mistaken.
No,
People saying it's not you,
I've-
thinking, well, she might have had babies and stuff. No, it's
no.
just not her character.
Yeah, it's not in her character. It's
She's not
like
a pet.
it's when she's told Eddard that no, that's not me. When he said about getting married, I thought in a same vibe towards that of Arya doesn't want to get married. Nymeria doesn't want to go back north. She's home. That's where she is. It's not her character to go there.
I saw someone talking about the fact that it's like you've got Nymeria. Obviously, they had a very parallel arcs. Nymeria and Arya both being split off from everyone and having to go on their own, work their own way out.
That's similar with
And like,
John's.
yeah, and I saw someone like talking about saying how Nymeria has gone. She's found a pack and she's built herself a pack around her.
Uh-huh.
So and like Arya has to now go do this. She has to go back to her pack. Has to go back to the Starks.
Well,
So like Nymeria was refusing to go with her because Nymeria's found her way.
yeah.
Arya has to now.
But when the second she said no, that's not you. I didn't for a second thought that she meant that that's not Nymeria. It very
No,
clearly
I thought
is.
it-
I remember
it's
the
eas-
scene where Ned said, "You'll marry a great lord and give him children," and then Arya said, "No, that's not me," and then walked off.
I think the only other way I would have interpreted it, which I did at first until I thought about that way, is just her like almost trying to tell herself that like if it was Nymeria would have come with me. But like that's the only way I'd think it would be misinterpreted. But I think it is her like thinking. No,
I
it's
like
not.
to call back to Eddard and
Yeah, I think it's more likely to be that it's not you. You're not. It's not like you.
it's not. It's not like it's not a character. It's yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like the scene
as a
just because of
character.
that.
I love the scene. I think
It's the last time we're going to see Nymeria, though.
Oh yeah, I don't imagine we'll see her again unless she shows up at some point in some battle.
I
and
don't.
just
I mean,
beats the shit out of everyone.
CGI wolves are expensive.
Yeah, true.
Unless Arya gets like attacked, like going north, and then like the wolves just come save her. There's
Like, have we even seen Ghost this season yet?
No,
no.
No, that
I
shows you how
noticed that.
expensive they are.
When Blue messaged me just after the episode.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh fuck, we haven't seen Ghost yet." Like, where the is it? Are they saying Ghost is still at the wall?
He wasn't in the Battle of the Bastards either.
Yeah,
but they said outside of it he was there. They just didn't show him. Yeah. It's like it's too expensive to use CGI wolves. So they spent all their Ghost budget for the first 2 episodes on Nymeria. So
their budget is so much higher. I would just like to see, even if it was just
there are a lot
on the
of
floor at the high table.
There are a lot of dragons this season. Yeah, I'd like to see him just killed in the corner.
Like when he's talking like.
He doesn't even have to just be a white fur coat.
Just exactly. Just have him sleeping by the fire.
It could just be a dog and get the CGI, just expand it big, and it's just lying there. Like, but it's for a whole thing. He has. I guess I kind of get him not when John goes to White Harbour, it doesn't show him leaving, but like just not showing him at all, any reference to him, or even just saying, "Oh, John, go feed Ghost for me," or something like that. Is a bit weird, especially.
There's been no mention of them.
And like it'd be kind of nice to see Sansa recognise Ghost and like the other Starks. It's like one of the 2 lasting direwolves.
The perfect opportunity to reintroduce him in a scene would be when Arya goes to Winterfell. Have Ghost greet her, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, like she thinks it's Nymeria again or something. But
no, I'd have Ghost smell her. You know, be the first one in Winterfell to recognise it it's her.
That would be if she went as faceless to try and make sure she's going in somewhere safe, and then
Ghost
I know who you are.
Once like jumps and starts licking her face.
I imagine she sneaks into a feast or something that Sansa's holding. Ghost's head just pops up and he jets across the fucking place and pins her to the floor and then just starts licking her.
licks her face.
That would be
face off.
That would be fucking great if that. That would be so good. I've just lost my notes because look at
John gets his letters. Now we're on next.
Yeah, John gets his letters, going to Dragonstone, leaves bitch-faced McGee in charge.
So I hated that. Sansa fucking... She looks at Baelish.
In charge.
She looks at Baelish when he says that she's in charge. It's like, am I actually? Is it true?
Baelish, is it true, Baelish? Can we do this, Baelish? I'm now doing this to piss off that person, that woman that you said is watching in the car. Let's just keep shitting on Sansa for ages. Go on, keep going.
Like with John doing, John going to Dragonstone and all that kind of stuff. Like I kind of get his lords being a bit upset because they're the ones, they're the lords that, especially the Bell, like Jon Royce. He was one of those commanders that helped remove the Targaryen dynasty, but fucking. Putting Sansa in charge, it was more just like, okay, act like this beef is over. But I fully expect Sansa to go, right, okay, stop defending the wall. We're going to put all our forces into Moat Cailin. We're going to march south and we're going to take the Riblands in my name or something stupid like that, where that conflict's going to arise, where like Lyon and Mormont will just go...
You saw in the first episode, like her she has more fear of Cersei than she does of the wall. Whereas like Jon is like, what's beyond the wall is what's important. So I could expect that could happen.
Do you think that's what's the rebellion is going to be? Like half of the lords siding with Jon, saying no, we can't go south, and half of them siding with Sansa, who don't believe that the White Walkers are a threat.
See, yes. I think where it says Jon faces a civil war, I think that he's going to receive news that Sansa's marching the Velmen south, and the Northern lords are gone. Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
And they're going to like Lyon and Mormont leading the charge, going, "Fuck you! I'm following my king's commands." Yeah. I think that's what it's going to be, North splitting with the Bell, and that's when I think that it's going to lead towards Baelish's death, and hopefully fucking Sansa's.
That could even be something that like rushes Jon's decision with Dany. Is like the fact that Sansa's fucking up really badly.
It's another thing. He
has to make a split decision.
With Jon at Dragonstone, does Tyrion know about Baelish's hand in Ned's death? I'd assume he would be aware of this. Varys, at the very least, would be aware of this.
But he was, because he knew that was Janos Slynt was being paid through Baelish, and Tyrion dealt with Janos Slynt, as well as he played that little game with Grandmaster Pycelle, Littlefinger, and Varys to see who was the little tricky one.
Oh yeah.
He'll tell Jon, and I imagine that one of the first, something along the lines of, Baelish is at Winterfell. Why haven't you killed Baelish? Baelish, killed your father, essentially. Betrayed him.
If it's not him, it'll be Varys that'll tell him.
Yeah, him or Varys. And Jon will send the Raven to Winterfell, surely.
Because Varys will go, look, dude, what the fuck are you doing with Littlefinger, controlling half your army? Like, Are you crazy?
That's the thing. So,
Speaking of Baelish, I was very disappointed.
the Raven from him and about Ned's death, and then the whole thing about killing Lysa Arryn. Literally the only fucking thing that Sansa needs to do is goes, "Hi guys, this is what Baelish has done." At which point, every single motherfucker would turn on him and want him dead. Baelish only has as much power as Sansa fucking lets him.
But she thinks that he's looking after her
Well, yeah,
in
but
some way.
Is she that stupid at this point?
Yes.
Yeah, you think she's that stupid at this point?
Yes, I think Sansa is beyond stupid.
Do you think she'll wise up after she gets the message from fucking?
I do think this
Jon?
season that she's going to turn against Baelish.
I
I think she's going to start playing him.
I would like it to be kind of. I would like Baelish to have a little bit of fit of rage and kill Sansa, and then Arya kill Littlefinger. I genuinely think
can
that's how it's going to
you
go down.
imagine the people that would piss off?
Para, I said this last episode, and you were like, "No, that's not going to happen."
Yeah, but
Listen
like,
to the
what I
last
th-
episode of the Conclave.
But just seeing Sansa this episode, it just made me so angry. Where I just want to see her dead. I just want her dead. I don't give a. I even just that one of those towers that Winterfell has that's crumbling to pieces. The one that Cersei and Jaime were fucking in season 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want just one of those huge bits of rock just to fall off and just kill Sansa. That's how she dies.
Sansa and Baelish just walking through the courtyard. Rock falls, crushed, dead.
Yeah.
Just ends the episode just crushed. Okay.
Or Littlefinger pushes her out the window. Just whatever. I don't care. I just want her dead.
The
Things I do for love.
No. I've got hope that surely Varys will take issue with Littlefinger being in the north. He'll take that as an immediate red flag. Surely he told Jon. Surely Jon would send something back to Sansa saying, "Kill the fucking cunt."
I think that'd be something that...
a bad man. He's just bad for him. He needs to look out that Baelish is terrible.
I think Varys will tell Dany, you cannot ally with Littlefinger.
Yeah.
That it's just flat. I think he'll go to the point where he goes, I'm out if you fucking ally with him.
Yeah.
If you want me to be brutally honest, Littlefinger will kill you.
We've already seen this episode that Jon is not a fan of Littlefinger.
Well, he's not
Yeah,
a
right.
Littlefinger
Super disappointed
already.
by
Yeah.
that scene.
Yeah, I was very disappointed with that.
Yeah, that's another thing.
How so?
Because
With him in the crypts, like, I was expecting a reveal.
Yeah.
Even just a hinted of a suggestion saying, well, this is what happens.
As in you're
in the
disappointed
tomb.
with the reason Jon was mad at him.
Yeah, so the next note is Jon gets kinky with Baelish. So yeah, just strangling him and it's a bit of fan service to season 1 with Eddard doing it to him.
I thought the scene in general, I thought it was good for Jon's character, like showing how closely in line he is with his father, or not father, but Ned, and like how protective he is of Sansa. But I think it was really detrimental to Baelish. Like, Baelish was dumb enough to get himself into a situation where Jon could just kill him and nothing would happen.
As well as kind of revealing it.
Bit cocky,
He's just revealed basically his whole thing.
Yeah.
He's just going, I want Sansa.
Yeah.
Are you stupid?
Which he doesn't. I don't believe that he actually loves Sansa at all.
I don't think he loves her. I think he wants to use her for a...
Yeah, he wants his own power.
We said this in the last podcast. He's in love with the idea of power, and especially with Sansa, where she's got a claim on the Vale, the North, and the Trident.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just I liked the little tomb of Eddard. I kind of just that was nice.
It was a dick move by Baelish. I mean, going into the crypt, really?
Yeah,
John has the Stark crypt.
John has nightmares about going into the crypts because he doesn't feel like he belongs there. Like he has the ghost of Eddard and Catelyn and Rob saying you don't belong here. Like
does Rob have a thing in there? I wanted to see a Rob one as well. I want to see Ned's one, Lyanna's one, and Rob's one.
I imagine Rob hasn't had one built yet because I know. But yeah, again,
you can't say he doesn't deserve one, Blue.
But
he was so dumb.
He was the first king in the North for like
the tomb of Winterfell is technically meant to be for the kings of the North.
Yeah, not lords.
And Eddard changed it around when his dad got killed and his brother.
It was the lords of the North as well, not just the kings.
But
it was only the lords, not the second sons or the third sons or all the bollocks. That's what
the daughters.
changed it.
The daughters.
Yeah, all the
but then
like
with I don't think Eddard. I think he pre-built his. If I remember something about him pre-building stuff there,
no,
where he
it
had a
wasn't
tomb
his.
for himself.
I recall him hiring somebody who Stonemaester to do his, but he never actually knew Nedard, so I think somebody was mentioning that it didn't look like him or something. But
Yeah, well,
the reason Rob won't have one is because they haven't had. I mean, the Boltons aren't going to do one for him, are they?
Yeah, Bruce ain't going to go on with this go team, but as well as in the books during that kind of time of Boltons, it's all sealed off, and only Theon kind of knows the way they're just about.
Yeah,
that's where he takes Bobbery Dustin down there.
There's one little thing to this entire John scene, which I know it's not going to happen because it never happened with Rob, but I want him to have a bloody crown. Just put a crown on his head, please.
I kind of like that reference, because when Sansa said, "Are you going to get a crown?" Do you want a crown or something like that? I kind of like that, because me and Sol complain so much about there's no good Northern crowns.
Yeah.
Rob Stark's crown. Because we want to put that in as ancillaries for all the mods, and it's just like, fuck's sake, it's just Mission Impossible trying to find a suitable crown. So I'd like, especially in the books, Stoneheart currently has Rob's crown.
There are pictures of the Crown of the North.
Yeah, just nothing good for ancillary work. It's not like Aegon's crown or anything like that.
Next point, whatever the next point is.
Next point is the foreign invasion in the ship.
Oh.
Yeah.
I ignored that scene.
Right, the foreign invasion. Yeah, I get that.
Oh.
That took us all a moment because we all just kind of ignored it because it was dumb.
No, I fuck the two women doing that kind of thing. I just love Theon's reaction to it.
Theon's like, I'm fucking out of it.
I'm just like the most uncomfortable person on the planet.
Yeah.
So, because this obviously can still go into battle as well. Is Euron the character at the moment who's done the biggest 180 in terms of being so boring to be the most entertaining guy on the show?
Yeah. So the next night, Euron motherfucking Greyjoy. Like,
oh yeah.
Like they have made him so good.
But that's what we were saying last season.
He is the killer of shitty Dornish plots. The Avenger
Really
of
better
Hell.
with an eye patch.
And better with an eye patch.
We'll go into that. I think we should respond to the comments in the previous episode.
I like he's a merge of Euron and Vic, isn't he? And he has Vic's axe.
Yeah, the axe is a great.
Yeah,
when I saw that axe, I was just like, "Thank you." That
all the
as a
fucking
book
detail
reader,
on
that
it
makes
as well.
me happy. Like
in the close-ups, lovely.
You what?
You see all the detail on the
you
axe.
See like the Kraken.
It's all neat with the
Kraken
Kraken shit on it and everything. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
not just that, the thing at the front of his ship, the little bridge
There's a fucking
with
bridge,
the Kraken.
yeah,
Silence is just insane.
I thought it was
And-
Greek fire, which I'm kind of disappointed it wasn't, but at the same time, it's like an actual tunnel. At the front of
fucking
it.
him on the fucking thing.
Yeah,
going
fucking coming down with it, fucking
That's,
screaming,
that's
yeah.
better than any
I
fire.
thought the entire setup was great, like just the ship slowly coming out of the clouds and stuff. It's like adding again to the silence name. You don't hear it coming, you don't know it's happening.
Yeah,
And
it,
then
it,
suddenly
it did
drops
disappoint.
down.
Definitely didn't disappoint.
And the fact that the silence men were cutting off tongues of all the screaming,
Yeah.
dying
Yeah,
people.
that was
That's
cool.
Just... but
And he's a madman. He was riding on the fucking boarding thing, as you were saying, as he came down.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
that's how I imagine Victorian Greyjoy in battle, where he's literally just going, right, fuck you,
There
I'm
is
going to scare
one
you.
thing which I wanted for when he landed. He had to say, I wanted him to say like a catchphrase. Just because he's meant to be a lunatic. He's meant to be absolutely mad. Like, he just needs to say like a daddy's home or something like that.
Well, he kind of did. He give your uncle a kiss.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
While screaming, more blood for the blood god! And...
When he first landed, I wanted him to say that. He said that later on when he saw them. But I'd say in general, one of the best fight scenes they've ever done.
Mm-hmm. Made it all the more better because he killed those fucking sand snakes.
Yes, killing the sand snakes with their own weapons.
Yes.
As well.
So, did he? So he killed the one that he strangled as well. I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, she's the
He
one
was
that's
the one hanging from the ship.
hanging. Yeah, so he's got one with the spear.
And the
through
other one
gut,
impaled on top of it with this.
When he speared the one and held her up, that was sick.
No, I was smirking for that entire fucking scene.
Like,
Yes,
when
that was
everybody
awesome.
watching was rooting for Euron.
Oh yeah, I'm rooting for Euron. Period.
Sand
now, to be
snakes
honest.
suck. They're the worst ever.
Yep, the whole Dornish plot. I want somebody to take that scene with the fights, stick Dan and David's fucking heads onto the sand snakes, and have Euron kill D&D.
I also, if like people, I'm not sure if everyone who's like just show watchers will know, but like in the books, obviously the sand snakes are bloody good fighters. They're trained by Oberyn. So this really shows Euron is a fucking badass.
Yeah.
He killed 2 of them.
At the same time, these aren't the book Sand Snakes, so these are the show Sand Snakes.
No, but but it's obviously they're still meant to have. They're still trained by Oberyn and everything, and he killed 2 of them whilst fighting them 2-on-1, which is insane.
He took a bunch of wounds. Did not give 2 fucking shits about the wounds.
That kind of that's what if you look through history, like the Vikings, they had this sort of the way they drink some drugs basically that would put them into, I think it's called blood rage, where you just don't feel pain, you just go fucking crazy, you just use your adrenaline.
It's like adrenaline to the max, isn't it?
Yeah, and that doing that with him kind of gave me that thought, like Viking raiding sort of feeling, and it was just another plus like little nods.
Yeah, Euron was just fuck everybody kind of thing. I'm killing everybody on this fucking ship.
So Theon went full Reek again.
Yeah, the return of Reek.
Yeah. Theon
broke. It's so good. I love it.
Who do you think that Theon kills to snap his weakness?
I like in my mind, since I've been thinking that I knew that Yara was going to get captured, and
we all know.
But it's like in my mind, I thought, well, that's going to be like Theon stepping up and leading the remaining Greyjoys. That's with Dany.
Yeah.
And, you know,
is that going to be before or after he makes it back to Dragonstone and Jon decks him?
Beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
I didn't kill your brother. I didn't kill your brother.
Jon won't care.
Like,
Jon will let him live purely because he saved Sansa.
Yeah, but he betrayed Rob and all the rest of it. So
yeah, but that's
he'll
let him live. He's still going to beat the shit out of him, but it will let him live afterwards.
But it was just when I saw him, like I saw the twitch. I was really disappointed. It would have been so much better if Yara or Asher just went run and said run.
Yeah.
Don't be
to be fair, there's nothing you could do other than run.
Oh yeah, if he hadn't run, he'd be dead. There was no way.
There's only you left on this ship. Only you, and you're going to come up against Euron, where you've got fucking no fingers and no toes.
Even if it was just Euron, he'd be fucked. But if he somehow miraculously killed Euron, you still got Euron's entire crew are still on the ship.
Oh yeah.
And are still just standing around who would kill him, so he's got no way to get out of it.
And they're assuming that the Ironborn would just let Euron do 1v1 on him.
No, they wouldn't. Theon was fucked.
I am your lord.
What?
What?
Theon was going to scream that. Just scream that to them, and then they all just stopped. And then let him kill Euron.
I doubt it. Now, Theon was fucked. But I'm interested to see how they continue the Reek thing. Like, is he actually Reek? Is he... Or what? Or was it just like a relapse kind of thing?
I ironically think he's going to step a bit up after Jon beats the shit out of him.
No, after that, I want him to die. I generally want... It's not really so much on him, but more on Yara. If Yara said run, I would have been perfectly fine with him jumping ship.
It would have been more heartbreaking if he did that. If Yara just went run and, you know...
Yeah, exactly.
Then he ran.
Rather than giving that look of disappointment, seeing him run, it just turned the table. It was just like, I wanted him to go back to Dragonstone and just ask Jon to execute him. If he can't defend his fucking sister in that situation...
I don't for a second think that
he's going to take the beating from Jon. He won't even try and resist it.
Yeah.
But I don't think Theon's dying this season. I think Yara is. I don't think Theon is.
No, he's got it. I
think Theon's got to live.
Same.
Right, so let's do
Episode 3 trailer.
No. We'll do favourite scene first.
Yeah.
Of this episode.
All right. Favourite scenes then. You want to go first, Beryl? I mean, do we all need to do this? My favourite scene's got to be Euron. I love Euron. Primarily because I want to see D&D's faces on the fucking sand snakes while he's awesome.
I like the whole Euron thing, but as I said earlier, my favourite scene was the Are You Hot Pie thing.
Yeah.
I just loved her reaction to finding out Jon was king. Like, it was great.
If I had a second one, it would be the Nymeria thing, just because of the callback to season 1.
I just meant all of the eye in it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Blue?
Yeah, the Nymeria scene is my favorite scene. I was like vocally like screaming at my TV. Like, yes. When
and yourself, Para?
The Varys scene. Varys is one of my favourite characters apart from Davos.
What, the opening scene?
Yeah. Not so much the opening scene, just Varys laying it out how it is, like, showing he's not fucking scared of her. Yeah, I love that. Right, so yeah, we have Dany, dragons, saying she has, white privilege and all that kind of crap.
White privilege.
What?
White privilege. That's a new
No,
fucking...
it's her clearly wanting to use her dragons because she's fucked up. All her main plan of Tyrion's is fucked.
Yeah, I think she might be just saying it to her little war council, but I've got a feeling she's saying it to John, saying, "Hey, part of her, bend your fucking knee, bitch."
I'll burn you right now.
Mad Queen full on. We've got Euron parading into King's Landing as the hero, clearly dragging someone or something.
Well, it's going to be Asher and
Sand
Yara,
Snake,
her name.
Yeah.
the Sand Snake and Ilaria.
Do you reckon the other
Yeah.
Sand Snake's still alive? The one in the cabin?
The daughter.
Yeah.
I hope the daughter. It makes sense for the daughter to be alive, so he can go to Cersei and go, "Well, this is the bitch that killed your daughter, and this is her daughter.
Yeah.
Do what you want." And Cersei's that's like Cersei wet dream. That's just like right,
Yeah.
perfect, and that's where I expect Wildfire. I expect her to be more like the Mad
really?
Queen, Wildfire, and I expect her to be chained up, very similar to Brandon Stark, and
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that, to be fair.
that's where Jamie just goes, right, I'm off to the Reach. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Just doing his typical Jamie thing where when things get too hot, he just goes, "No, I'm out."
Yeah,
There's
turn
one
a
thing-
blind eye, just like you can't see it.
Or,
No
you know,
problem.
One thing I don't like about the thing with Euron obviously parading them is they're clearly his gift for Cersei. I'm a bit annoyed about that. I would have rather something like, I don't know, Dragonbinder, but
No, I thought it was obvious that...
I thought it was, yeah, but like, I was still like, I'm still holding out hope for things from books, but
Nah,
Well,
Dragonbinder's not
Red
likely
Roar.
to happen. I don't see it happening.
yeah. And there's Cersei saying that she's drawn first blood. She's pretty happy with herself.
Yeah, it sounds like a cock.
And then someone arriving at Dragonstone.
Well, it's, yeah, obviously John. Then,
It is John. You can see it's John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then Tyrion talking to John and Davos.
That's the scene I'm most looking forward to is Tyrion and John.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. Their interactions were good in the first season. There's Jamie prepare or like talking to his men or going to his men or something, which is obviously him, as you were saying, preparing to leave King's Landing to go to the Reach.
Yep.
I have a question. What happened to the rest of the Kingsguard?
Oh, they're still around. You see them?
They're just nameless people. It's no
Yeah.
longer they're just
Yeah,
staying there. But the only one that you got is Robert Strong, Gregor.
Clegane.
Well, were you saying you reckon Jamie's leaving because he's a bit pissed that Euron's back and Euron's got two good hands? So
I
still a
think
bit butthurt.
I genuinely think Cersei's going to do something similar to the Mad King, and that's why he just goes, right, I'm off.
Yeah. So also the Unsullied are continuing with their end of the plan.
Yeah, they're definitely going through the plumbing system.
Yeah.
They're
Do
gonna,
you think they win?
oh yeah, they're taking it
Yeah.
personally.
There
Right.
was a scene in one trailer where the Unsullied were on a boat next to something that had like a cave. On
Yeah,
inside a cliff.
yeah, it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the sewer. I imagine.
Yeah, because we see the Unsullied open the gates from within, and the rest of
yeah.
the Unsullied coming in. So that's it's going to be it. With Game of Thrones, there's always a callback somewhere, and Tyrion talking about the plumbing and all that kind of shit. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
There's just some quick fire scenes which are them still in the attack and stuff. And then the scene which I really wish they didn't put in the trailer. Which is Johnny coming into the throne room and seeing Dany.
When
I
she's
don't-
sitting on the throne.
Yeah, but I don't want to see that as in the trailer. That needs to be a big thing in the episode.
Well, it's going to happen
We all
anyway.
knew it was happening anyway.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, I think we have the taking of Highgarden next episode.
you reckon
And,
that's actually happening next episode?
yeah,
I reckon they're just leaving. I don't reckon they're.
remember we've only got 7 episodes,
I
and
suppose.
They'll take Highgarden relatively easily.
I think
Much of the
episode 4 or 5 will be the Field of Fire 2.0.
Well, do you reckon they have the taking of Highgarden and the taking Castle Rock in the same episode?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, suppose
I think
it's back and
Danny.
forth.
Yeah, it'll be one win for Danny and one loss for Danny,
So
and
still,
to make-
Cersei's still 2-1
Yeah.
up.
as well as she gets like an extra kingdom, Dawn out of the equation. It'll make Danny look even weaker, and that's where Danny just goes, right, time to use the nukes.
I don't know. I'd rather take Castle Rock and Lannisport and all the gold and shit that's there over Highgarden.
It's winter. Like, you got to remember, it's winter. Highgarden's going to have all the reserves of food and shit.
Yeah.
And it's not like
and-
Danny can just go, well, can we buy all your food off you?
Yeah, and Danny's on Dragonstone,
No,
so
you
it's not
can,
exactly
she
got the
can buy
most
a fuckload of
crops.
sellswords. So.
She doesn't exactly have the most food on Dragonstone.
I mean, the Golden
does she?
Company isn't doing anything.
Hey, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, nudge, nudge. That's where young Griff comes in. Danny hires the Golden Company with the gold she gets from Kirsty
No, he
Rock.
hires them, and there's just a random kid with blue hair just walking about in the back of one of the scenes.
Doesn't even introduce him, just the kid with blue hair. Just walking past at some point.
I just be like, I hate you, Dan and Dave. I actually hate you.
So I was just looking at the season 7 episode 3 preview. Top comment: the White Walkers built the wall to protect us from Euron Greyjoy.
If only someone had built us a wall to protect us from Euron Greyjoy.
Speaking
would be fine.
comments. Are we reviewing comments?
Blue speaking.
Yeah. He's asking if we're viewing the fucking comments.
Oh, right, I couldn't hear him properly. It's quiet.
Sorry.
It's like
We're editing, so at certain points when I fucking speak like that, it's because I'm going to edit to that point. Like right now. Alright, are we going to read the fucking comments from last video then? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, and then we'll read out the ones on this one as well for the next episode as well. So, Para, do you want to read them out? Or ones of importance?
It's your fucking channel.
Yes, I can't minimise Skype and look at YouTube comments at the same fucking time.
There's one here which I think is a good point, which is, do you want me to shout out who it was? It's just called Stephen.
Sure.
He is.
Stephen.
I think Bran has destroyed the wall, or at least weakened it. I never thought it would shatter the moment he went through, but rather the damage is cancerous, destroying it slowly from the inside with the magic. He also thinks the Lancers will take Highgarden, which he said loads of times, and then they'll fight Dany's army afterwards. Basically, take it and hold it. They're here. Her army is approaching because only fools fight Dothrakis in the open plain. I still think they will. And we saw the Unsullied attacking a gateway. He says that could be Highgarden. I reckon that's Castle Rock. But main point I'd like to talk about is him talking about Bran and the wall. So what's your opinions on that?
We talked about it last episode where I don't think that this whole magic thing on the wall is as serious as the cave. The difference being the cave was an open cave where it just had magic.
The cave would be weaker.
I think the mark will have made a difference. I think it is the key to him being the Knights game being able to get past.
But the whole build-up about Eastwatch last episode, like two or three times...
They're going to freeze the waters and walk across.
They're going to, freeze round, or they're going to attack at different points, like Manstead in the books. But I think the Eastwatch is going to be like the serious...
the
serious
Wildlings are there. The Hound had the vision with it, and during that vision thing, which I mentioned in the last thing, they had that cut bit of dialogue which mentioned the waves being frozen over. So, yeah, it's going to be that. It's in the intro as well.
As well as a lot of people thought that was going to happen with the Battle of Hardhome when he raised his hands. I personally generally thought, fuck, the water's going to freeze. Like, you're fucked. But also I can imagine, from a HBO kind of perspective, where if they're going to show the wall, they want to, I imagine they want to kind of step away from Castle Black a bit and show something different. Yeah. Which personally would be quite nice.
I want to move on just to the best comment I think which is on here, which is, you guys will love this. It's by Emperor of Mankind. Euron Greyjoy without an eye patch and Valerian armor is getting annoying. Any comments?
That's what I was saying earlier about waiting to read comments.
You don't know that armor that he was wearing isn't Valerian armor.
It's very thin Valerian steel.
It's Valerian steel. It doesn't need to be thick.
I'm more annoyed about the Valerian armor just because it's such a unique thing.
Yeah.
More annoyed about that than over Dragon Binder and the eye patch. I don't fucking.
I don't particularly care. He's more than made up for the eye patch.
Yeah.
At this point.
There's more to his comment though. Like, this is actually a point. When Bran arrives at Winterfell, is he Lord or is Sansa still?
We've mentioned that before as well.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the last episode where I think if Sansa is going to say, well, I'm the rightful ruler and all that kind of shit, and Bran's just going to go, fuck you, bitch.
Just fucking every lord in the north, every lord ever is going to go, fuck you, bitch.
And I think when Jon returns to Winterfell, Jon will go to Bran, well, it's yours.
It's yours if you want it, yeah.
And then Bran's just going to go, well, I'm the three-eyed raven, I've got to look at this fucking tree. And that's all he's going to do. He's going to stand at that tree for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Bran's not going to be interested in being Lord.
I don't think Bran sees himself as Brandon Stark anymore. I think he sees himself.
No, he's the three-eyed raven. Yeah.
He doesn't care about lordships.
The only thing that's important is the White Walkers and the Long Night and everything to him.
But I think it will also be very important having Bran there and being technically the rightful heir to the North.
Yeah, Bran's support for Jon will go a long way, kind of thing.
Yeah, and saying, look, we need to deal with the Night King. Fuck everything else. Nothing else matters. I've seen it. And I can do all this magic shit. I know what's going on.
Mirror Reed vouching for him as well.
You're on Graveyard tonight. Holy fuck, I am so fucking hard right now.
There's the top comment. Armor Gold is not red wine. This is unforgivable. The season is ruined for some dickhead called SoulGamesInc.
Yeah.
That's the only bit I heard from your podcast, was you bitchy about the Armor Gold.
But how many upvotes does that one comment have? That's the real...
Only 8.
It's more than the rest of them.
Yeah. Then there's this guy which you already responded to in the comments, but Sam Bishan's saying he's the only character who doesn't want to know what Rhaegar looks like and thinks he's someone that we want to thought about. I kind of agree with that, because I think like Rhaegar's whole character is that he was...
Well, he was the typical shiny, perfect Targaryen prince.
I think, and if you actually bring him in physically, I feel like you ruin that. I think he's meant to be whatever you view as the perfect prince.
Yeah, see, I think the perfect like flashback for that is just some... Like the back of a guy with silver hair down to his shoulders, kissing Lyanna under the canopy of red heart leaves and shit. Just for a split second.
Call that the perfect prince is a 6'5" fat guy balding on top with a massive ginger beard. That's the perfect prince.
No, Para, you're not the perfect prince.
But no, I generally think that they need to do. I think they need to wrap it up about if Rhaegar was a rapist, sort of weird stalker thing, or generally like the sort of Romeo. I personally would prefer a Romeo and Juliet sort of thing going on with Rhaegar and Lionheart, and that just bites everyone in the arse, and all of this is because of that.
Yeah.
It's totally not that though. It's totally him. It's the prophecy. It was him just trying to fulfill a prophecy. I think he probably didn't even love her. He was like, she'll do.
No, I think it was his own brand of madness kind of thing with the prophecy and wanting a Visenya.
He was obsessed
to Aegon.
But I don't think Lyanna was kidnapped. I think Lyanna...
Oh no, she wasn't kidnapped. She fully went.
Yeah, being this naive, a typical, young girl sees this charming older guy and just like...
and way out of Robert as well.
Spreads her legs and...
she completely and absolutely went willingly. Completely. There's no way Rhaegar kidnapped her against her will or anything. I mean, you could argue Rhaegar easily seduced her and,
How do you reckon they go into like a Rhaegar flashback? That would be through Bran, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, we see plenty of shots of Bran in the Wolfswood and Godswood.
Godswood.
Yeah, in Winterfell and shit. So
we said this last episode. I personally think they'll do a couple of episodes like that, how they did Tailjoy, but doing the Tourney of Harrenhal.
Yeah.
And kind of just wrapping it up like that. I think it's really important. Also, going on, Bran about hold the door and that turning into Hodor, I can imagine that like Jon Arryn, the Seed is Strong, and the Mad King screaming, burn them all, burn them all. I can imagine Bran having some form of influence in that.
Yeah.
What, like him saying like to the Mad King, burn the White Walkers or something, and that turned into burn them all, burn.
Yeah, exactly. Having
like he causes the Mad King to go mad.
Yeah, because you can see with Eddard in the Tower of Joy, he does have that sort of effect, especially with Hodor as well. Like it would be because it's a bit weird that Jon Arryn last words are just the Seed is Strong, Seed is Strong. He repeats it non-stop, and then in season 1 it cuts to Robert talking to Jaime, and Jaime just goes, he's saying the same thing for hours, just burn them all.
I think it is a big thing they're going to go over is how influential Bran actually is on everything. Like he is the cause of all of it.
Yeah,
I can see him being the cause of the Night's King.
The Grand Brandon conspiracy.
No, we've seen what caused the Night King.
But I could see him like being like somehow influencing the Children of the Forest to do that, because like we've seen he can influence the past. So like,
I think you're clutching at straws.
I think it's similar to with the Children of the Forest is very similar to nuclear weapons these days. It's like, right, we created it to defend ourselves, and now everyone's got one, or it's now going to have control. It's going to cause an apocalypse.
Yeah,
and it's very George R. R. Martin to write like that. But I do think that he might have had, caused the madness of Ares. Much like how he caused, not just a small time, but Hodor was a long-lasting thing.
Well, you think about it, if Ares wasn't mad, Rhaegar wouldn't have held the tourney of Harrenhal to overthrow his father and get the lords together, and he wouldn't have met Lyanna, and he wouldn't have had Jon, who is, the Prince that Promised, and all that crap.
Yeah, as well as part of me starting to think, because of Bran's shouting father to Eddard, why he's going to have joy, I think that might have forced the idea of, I'm going to call him my bastard son and stuff, where these little things do have a huge effect on certain characters.
Yeah.
Especially Eddard to, break basically every principle of himself and, make people think he's cheated on his wife and that, to think that he honourably killed Arthur Dayne and all that kind of shit.
I think he just never corrected them when they assumed that.
He did. He didn't speak about it. He refused to, even to Catelyn, don't mention Lyanna, don't mention this and that.
Yeah.
Don't mention John's mother, just keep it quiet. And that from Eddard, that, like, he was doing typical Eddard, like, really honourable thing, but due to, I think, Bran putting that idea into his head.
Yeah.
By the way, Saul, you referred to Jon as the prince that was promised. I think you meant Sir Pounce is the prince that was promised.
A common misconception, yes.
That's actually something that actually happened, which we didn't even mention in the episode, but the episode they actually confirmed, I don't know whether it had been confirmed before, but the fact that the prophecy can be interpreted as prince or princess.
Yeah, I thought that bit convenient.
Aegon, not Aegon, Aemon Targaryen.
Aemon
did confirm it, didn't he?
He confirmed it in the books, and they didn't confirm it in the show until now.
Oh, right.
So I've been hoping they would confirm it, so it's a nice little...
Well, good for them, but Jon's still the prince that was promised, not Dany.
But with the difference of having Aemon say it and then having Missandei say it, it's just a bit like...
That's why I thought it was a bit convenient. No, the slave girl has just conveniently corrected us all on our prophecy in Valyrian.
Rather than the 100-year-old Targaryen.
100-year-old Targaryen who was talking to Rhaegar about it through fucking ravens for ages. You could. I'd expect Melisandre to explain that, not the slave girl.
Well, no, because Melisandre believes it's Jon, so she wouldn't say.
Yeah, but she could still explain that fucking difference, couldn't she? But
it's also a bit annoying with how, like, season 3, where Daenerys is going on about how Valyrian's her mother tongue and she knows it better and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, that was
it's like...
And she fucked up.
You just fucked up quite a serious thing.
You fucked up the prophecy which the entire fucking series is based on.
Yeah.
Everything is about this prophecy and you fucked it up.
You stupid dragon bitch. Tyrion just walks up, slaps her around the head. Bang, Danny! Bang!
I'm used to slapping rulers. Slap!
Slap, and then big explosion.
Yeah, slap, Drogon just comes and eats him instantly.
Alright, we're digressing at this point. Is there any other comments of interest or...
No. Just a small thing I should have said last episode, with Tormund and Brienne.
Yeah.
I think Brienne, like everyone's going on about Brienne and Jaime, I genuinely think Tormund and Brienne's going to happen because I love the idea of them training together. Because Brienne goes on about, I forgot his name, he's in the books. But the only bloke that she ever kind of gave into was a guy that would fight her and duel her and, better her in combat. Yeah. And I love the idea of that being Tormund. I'd just
like to point out we have 10 episodes left. Can we spend time on better things than two big people wanting to bang each other?
No. We're very well with Missandei.
That's Paradise life story. What do you want to...
I want to see Tormund and fucking Brienne, like, in the mud fighting, punching each other.
Tormund, don't you?
Them two fighting each other in the...
Just run out the large member.
In the mud. I just think it'd be great just to see Brienne just give in to, like, because of someone fighting. I just think it'd just be perfect.
Okay. You just want that fantasy fulfilled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure if you Googled a few fan fictions, you could find that somewhere.
Tormund and Brienne have got to end up. They're just so perfect, but
I guarantee there are very fucking detailed and graphic fan fictions that involve Tormund's giant member and Brienne of Tarth.
You've shown me a couple of those fanfics. They're shit.
I guarantee they exist.
Well, considering there's fanfics about John and Arya and fucking
Oh, yeah.
Danny
Red
having
Bear-
a twin
Red
sister.
Bear-
There's multiple ones about John and Sansa.
There is the red bear and the blue lady. It exists. It's there.
Yep, see, look, you found it in like 2 fucking seconds.
There are 8 chapters of it.
Uh-huh. How many words are there to each unit?
I don't know, mate. There's way too many. It's long. Oh no, wait. 25,000 words.
No, fuck me, in 8 chapters, that's, you know... It goes into detail, doesn't skimp on the story. You need a good story behind a shitty fucking smart fanfiction.
I think you can probably conclude the podcast.
We'll just keep going. But all the shitty fanfictions. I once stumbled upon one where Ghost fucked Sansa.
I think
Or at least I think that's how it went,
cue
because
to
I
leave,
stopped
guys.
reading at a certain point. I'm pretty sure that's how it went.
Yeah, this is totally my cue to leave.
That's the cue to leave at that point.